Bună ziua și bine ați venit la 360 de grade. Astăzi vom învăța să pătrundem înăuntrul nostru pentru a accesa divinitatea născută și pentru a antrena cele mai pure energii din ființa noastră. Alături de noi în platou avem astăzi un maestru spiritual din Trinidad, care de la vârsta de 20 de ani a renunțat la tot ceea ce este lumesc pentru un singur scop, înălțarea spirituală. Misiunea sa este să creeze o lume în care iubirea, pacea și armonia vor triumfa. Sri Vasudeva. Welcome, Master, and welcome in our country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your warm welcome.
Okay. Master, you are a visionary leader, an international speaker. You combine ancient wisdom with modern thinking. And you are the founder and director of Blue Star Organization, an organization dedicated to holistic human development. Master, what draws you to Romania every year?
First of all, I'd like to say that I've been coming to Romania since 2002.
Yes, so for 10 years.
10 years, yeah. So it's like a 10-year anniversary. It was in September 2002, and I visited Arad. And there was such an overwhelming response to my visit, and so much heart in the Romanian people. I've been drawn again and again, and it's over 10 years, and except for 1 year, I've been coming to this country for 10 years.
Yes,
And when I think of coming to Romania, there's always a draw, an attraction. I think that there's a great interest in spiritual consciousness in Romania. And when I speak of spiritual consciousness, I speak of opening up the consciousness to respect life, to want to know more about self, about transforming community and environment. So I see spirituality in the widest context.
But how often is recommended to stay, to be in this silence of our thoughts, of our being?
We may think that it's impossible to be silent in every moment. But look at me. I am silent as I speak. So my thoughts are rising in the silence. My thoughts are staying in the silence as much as I want to keep it. And when the thought leaves, I'm still silent.
Even when you are speaking.
Even when I'm speaking,
Yes,
I'm aware of my silent space, that I can speak from a space of silence. So silence is a space in the consciousness from where we can operate. Now, we may think when a person is verbally quiet that they are silent, but a person cannot be saying anything,
or
but a lot of thoughts in the mind.
Can be quiet, but not in the silence of her or his thoughts.
So quiet physically, but not mentally silent.
Exactly.
And what is more important?
Mentally, of course. Yes, I see. Are we really using our intellect?
Now, intellect is our processing tool.
Yes.
I can reason about some kind of situation, analyze it, simply because I have the skill of the intellect.
I mean, when we want to achieve a certain goal.
Yeah, that's what I want. So I'm getting to that.
Yes.
So if I want to achieve a certain goal, then I can use the intellect, my reasoning power, to create a vision of what I want to achieve. And I can use my reasoning power to determine whether this is a good vision for me.
Yes.
By analyzing and thinking, is this a vision that will make me a better person?
Or not.
Or not? Is this a vision that can help my community? And that's how I make a better decision, by creating visions that can transform me into being a better person and transforming my community into being a better place. So I can use my intellect to create a vision. I can use an intellect to protect my mind from too much worry.
Yes.
And say, look at myself. Why am I thinking all these things? Let me be a little more silent. And silent affords us, or gives us the opportunity of what is called intuition. So this brings me to the idea that I'm in an intelligent universe that is in connection with me and in connection with everyone else. So I'm not isolated. In the same way we have the internet and computer, and we can write something in a browser, and we get so much information. The universe is rich with information in the mental atmosphere, in the mental field. And if I were to think something now and create an intention, information can come from that field through my mind. Oh, wow, I have an inspiration. And whatever we are looking for, it's coming through our mind. But of course, we have to have the kind of language, the understanding, the symbols in our consciousness to understand the information that is coming. So a mathematician, for example, can pick up information from the space very quickly if it's a mathematics issue.
Yes, yes. Master, what's the reason of the obstacles in our lives? Do we learn more through the obstacles?
Yeah, and all of us, if not most of us, or most of us, if not all of us, would experience obstacles in life.
Yes, unfortunately.
Well, I'm not sure if it's unfortunate.
Yes.
Because obstacles can make us better people.
Yes.
Obstacles afford us the opportunity to learn. And when we meet an obstacle, it is saying something to us. It is saying that I am not aligned to my universe.
Yes.
And if I were to observe what happens, the experience of the obstacle, then
it's something wrong with me,
Yeah.
not with the universe.
Absolutely. Can I not learn something from it? And do I not have the opportunity to treat with the situation differently from a number of possibilities? And that brings me to another important point. It's a universe of all possibilities.
Yes.
I can choose to be a better person, or I can choose to be a worse person. I can choose from all the possibilities before me every day. So, using the intellect, analyzing from a field of all possibilities, I can become what I want to become.
But how can we analyze correctly our experiences? Because maybe sometimes we don't understand correctly the experiences we are going through.
Yeah, staying with the point of obstacles, I believe, are placed in our path meaningfully and purposefully by the universe to help me to grow. So this brings me to the idea that my universe is intelligent. My universe knows who I am, like a GPS. It knows who I am, it knows where I am. And my universe loves me. My God loves me. The divine loves me. And so is the divine trying to teach me something? Is my universe trying to teach me something? And then, if it's trying to teach me, wouldn't it help me to find a solution as well?
Yes.
So we say it's a gracious universe. As much as it will challenge you to grow, it would also cradle you and support you. So when we are analyzing, we need to think about this. My universe is loving me and sending me this obstacle. But in all cases, if you look carefully, we'll see that we grow from obstacles. A person may have an illness, and it challenges them to learn more about the body and to learn more about health. And learning the rules of good health, they recover, and then they start sharing the information with people. So wasn't the illness a blessing in disguise? So if you look carefully, you will see, if you look carefully with a more open mind,
Yes.
a more open consciousness, you will see how the universe is wise, how the universe loves us.
And
how the
why
universe-
is sending us?
Yeah.
He's sending us
It
the
informs
obstacles.
us. And it's giving us the opportunity again and again and again, infinitely, to be better.
Yes.
But when we learn, then life
Yes.
becomes a play, becomes a joy, because now we know the rules. If, for example, I know that this food is not going to be good for me, but it tastes nice. But I know that every time I eat it, I suffer. So soon enough, I'll make better choices. And I will learn to like other things. I may learn to like things that I didn't like before. So, life becomes a play. Because now I understand the rules of the game.
Yes.
If I do this, this will happen. If I do this, this will happen. So now I understand the rules of the game. So life can become a play if we begin to learn from every obstacle. We will not make the same mistakes again.
Yes. In your conferences, you told us that we have the power to select the information that we want to store. So you said that we poke our eyes everywhere. We receive all kind of information and we explore many things, but there is a danger here, a danger to be haunted by this information. So we have to be very carefully what kind of information we allow through our senses in order not to be haunted. by them.
Yeah. If we look very carefully,
Is really a danger?
no, but first I want to comment on what great beings we are, that we are equipped with such senses of hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching. We are equipped with a sensory system that allows us to experience a universe. And we are equipped with a mind and intellect that allows us to process the information that is coming from the universe.
Yes.
And we are equipped with a memory that helps us to recall the experiences of yesterday. But when we collect information in our inner being, what can that information do for us? And what does it do to us? Now think carefully. When you feed a little child that is growing up all these violent movies about murders and about delinquency and addiction and smoking is good and the vices are good and the drinking the alcohol is so good, but we know that these are unhealthy practices. So when we feed a child this information, they grow up thinking that all these unhealthy practices for the human being are good, and they keep that in the system. And when they are in the active life, they are guided by these things. So what you put into your memory stays in there as vivid images. So the abuse of the childhood, for example, remains in the child as a very powerful memory. And it may
Maybe for his entire life.
Yes, and may create a low self-esteem. So we have to be very careful with how we put images in our minds. So it's extremely important to be able to protect your mind. And to keep only those thoughts in your mind that are healthy for you, that are good for you, that will make you a better person and make the world a better world. So you see how important this memory that we have is. I'm very careful about what I look at, what I see, how I process, because I want only the most beautiful thoughts in my being. And of course, I don't condemn the others, but it's not the choice I will make to look at a movie with murder.
Yes.
And to look at sexuality that is not good, it's unhealthy. So, or look at love that is skewed, it's not true love. So when I look at movies with true love and respect for property and respect for environment and good themes that make us better people, then these are the thoughts that will come up in my mind again and again. So it's extremely important for our health and well-being and the well-being of society as we come into a new age to treat with the memory in a better way.
Yes.
And we don't think that way. We have never been guided to think that way.
Yes. You said don't give up until you are satisfied. What
Well,
do you mean?
I am the one who believes that I have the power because of the gifts I've been given by the universe to think, to analyze, to create the emotions I want, to drive my being how I would like to understand my world, to learn from mistakes, to not be afraid of challenges, to live fearlessly and learn. So if I have all these gifts and these tools, then certainly I can achieve anything I want in my world.
Of course, yes.
So we should not give up. If we have any vision, we should not give up. But what is more important is working intelligently with life, the universe. Because in this universe, it's not about what I want, it's about what we all want. That is what creates a universe, the desires of all. So if I can work in harmony, so this is what is happening in my country, Romania now. How can I help the country to be a better country? How can I help my community to be a better community? And I align myself to what is happening. How can I get into a profession that will help my country in a better way? How can I get involved in health practices that can help my community in a better way? So if I were to align myself with how the society is moving, how the universe is intending, then certainly I'm going to be a blessing to myself and to my world. So going after what you want should also be done with an understanding of how the universe operates and with respect for a collective consciousness in the universe. That it's not about me only, it's about us.
Yes.
If I were thinking about me, then I'll be in my country, Trinidad and Tobago. But I'm thinking about my world. I see myself as a global citizen in my world. It's my Romania. It's my Holland. It's my England. It's my America. I was born on this planet. And every country has a relationship with me. So I see myself differently.
Why is considered such a miserable state of existence to feel as a victim? Because
well, I feel that the victim consciousness makes us give our power away. We feel weak when we become a victim.
yes.
And we have a choice. We have a choice. Each time we don't see that, but we have a choice. To be a victim or to be a victor.
Yes.
It's my choice. And if I stay in the consciousness of a victim, I stay in less power. I stay in weakness. But if I stay believing
yes.
that I have the power to not be a victim, but to be in charge, the universe gives it to us. I'm equipped with all that I need to achieve anything I want. Why should I be a victim? If I feel that someone has humiliated me, made me less, I try to understand why. And I don't want to give my power away. I want to make myself more powerful. So I try to understand why this person humiliated me. And then I may have a dialogue. Why did you treat me like that? So instead of just staying as a victim, I want to do things that come out of that victim consciousness. So what I'm saying is that stay in your power, that you have unlimited power and potential within you. Stay in your power. It's your choice. Don't be a victim.
So that's why it's so dangerous to give up in helplessness.
Yeah, never should we give up. And then if you want to put a divine dimension to this, that certainly that which created us, which we call God, is always there for us. Why do we think that that which created us has forsaken us? No. The divine, however we conceive the divine to be, is always with us. Even now. That's why I travel fearlessly across the world. Because I know I'm taken care of by a greater power. All I need to do is to be aware of it, acknowledge it, and stay in the grace of that power.
Yes. So why is it so difficult for us to come out of our limited emotions?
It's conditioning. Because we are not taught to grow the self-esteem. We don't have the guidance. Look at the schools, for example. Who teaches us about us? It's about what to learn, get a diploma, go and work. But what about me? Who am I? What am I? How can I deal with my emotional being? How can I deal with my mental being? We're not taught that. So we stay in the victim consciousness. There are people who come out with the PhDs, but they are poor in emotional status. They feel like a victim. They go to the workplace and they become a victim. They have not the power of communication, not the power of dialogue, not the power of a higher consciousness that believes all is possible. So victim consciousness is a choice.
Yes.
Well, but we can choose differently. We have the power. So we simply need to be aware of the power that we have as conscious beings in a world of all possibilities.
And instead it's very important to develop positive emotions.
Absolutely.
You taught us about this.
But that's the idea of using the head and the heart in a wonderful combination. Because if you become passionate about something but you don't have a vision, that is heart without head. And that could be a dangerous thing.
Yes.
And if you have a vision but you don't have heart,
it's also dangerous.
Yeah. So when you have head and heart working together, you have the right vision of making yourself a better person, the world a better place, and you put the passion to that, then you have the most powerful combination you can ever have.
How can we make a correct plan for ourselves? And how can we know that this is correct?
That's good. When you say correct, I think it's more important to think, how can I know what is my purpose of being in this world?
Yes.
And we all have a purpose.
Yes.
So how can I learn about my life purpose? But if you look carefully, you will see your talents, your skills that you've been born with, blessed with, inform you about your life purpose. Whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's cooking, whether it's architecture, whatever it is. What is your passion? What is your skill? And that's where your purpose lies. And if you pursue your purpose with respect to the universe, looking for all the signs of how to develop, then certainly you'll become fulfilled. When you fulfill the purpose for which you were born, then you feel fulfilled in your being. You feel happy about doing it.
Yes, I understand.
So finding out your life purpose, identifying your life purpose is important. And sometimes to some of us, we have a passion, but there is no opportunity. But don't give up your passion. Stay with what is for the time being. It might be that you're doing it for survival. I need to make money, I need to live. But keep your passion alive, keep it burning. And at some point, I'm sure that you'll be able to do something more about your passion. But live life in such a way that you feel fulfilled every day in what you're doing. So if you're not doing the thing that makes you completely passionate and happy, understand that it's also important to survive in the world. So you make your job or whatever, even if you don't have the passion, the best one.
Yes.
And when you serve people, you serve the environment, it's always a good thing. But when you can make your work your passion too, or have it as your passion, that's the most beautiful thing that can happen.
Is it so difficult to reach the state of freedom for us?
Yeah, and I'm glad you qualify for us, because some of us believe that we can't. Again, we live in the limited consciousness of victim consciousness. But yes, we all can. The universe is built with that grace, that blessing, that we can find our freedom again. But it lies in taking an inner view, not an outer view. It lies in asking the question, who am I? What is my potential? What is my power? So unless I do that self-assessment, I will not be able to find the true freedom. Because true freedom is not about having all the money in the world,
yes,
or having all the property in the world so you can do anything.
Anything you want with them, yes.
Because you might be mentally and emotionally poor. You don't have good social skills, for example, or your mind is not in a very positive way all the time, and you're worrying about the millions you have, and then you have health issues. So it's more important to stay, to take that inner view and explore the power that you have in your own consciousness, because you have awesome power inside. You have great power inside to achieve anything that you want to achieve.
Why the path of love is not an easy path?
Because a lot of us become wounded in love.
Yes.
And I believe that when love becomes selfish, when we love a person because we want something from the person. When love has the tinge or the tint of selflessness, then it can become very painful when we give love but we don't get what we want.
Are we purified by the pain of love?
Yeah, I like when you say that, because love will always purify us through pain. But why is it purifying us, and what is it purifying us to achieve? And it is a state of loving. It is a state of loving without condition. Can we love someone for who they are, and for the sake of loving, without loving them, expecting anything in return? And I believe that that's what true love is. It's loving without condition. If I love you without condition, then no matter how you treat me, I'm still loving you. And I think that that's a winning kind of love.
Yes.
It's a love of the Mandela or the Gandhi or the Mother Teresa. It is the kind of love that can bring freedom.
Yes, but it's difficult to do it.
It's difficult because it's
because of our
conditional.
nature, of course.
No. Yeah, because of our tendency.
Of
because
our
we have a
tendency,
better nature as well.
Yes.
But coming back to the point of freedom, because I just remembered we had that conversation a little earlier, and it's an important conversation. Freedom can only come in our consciousness when we realize that we have the power to achieve the true goals of life. Peace, love, goodness, a wisdom that allows me to understand me and my universe and how much my universe loves me. So freedom comes in making the consciousness bigger to see more in every situation, expanding the awareness. And that's possible through practices like meditation, of opening up the consciousness, practices of mind control, mind management, practices that opens us up to all possibilities. So our freedom really lies in that inner journey and exploring the tools inside and being disciplined enough, focused enough to want to experience that state of inner freedom, of peacefulness and lovingness and goodness. And I believe that that's why we were born, to be free.
You said in one of your conferences that we can see more every moment. But what do you mean exactly by seeing more every moment?
Seeing more, for example, I'm speaking with you.
Yes.
So I see you not just as the physical person who is interviewing me, but I'm looking at your eyes, for example, and trying to find out the inner person.
Yes.
And I'm looking for the heart quality, your presence, and trying to be compatible or in harmony with that presence. So as we're interviewing, you can enjoy the interview, I can enjoy the interview. So I'm seeing you more than just a physical person who is just there to interview me and to ask questions and to explore what I'm saying. But I'm seeing you as a person with a heart, with a mind, with a soul, with a desire to want to know more, a desire to understand what I'm trying to say. And that makes, in this situation, for a better kind of conversation, that you begin to feel, oh yes, he's giving attention to me, he's listening to me, and he's really trying to help me to understand what he's saying. And so, in every situation, if you look, there is so much to see if you look beyond the physical.
Yes.
And trying to see, what is life trying to tell me in this experience that I'm having? It's like looking at a tree. Some of us, we walk outside and we don't see the beautiful trees that are standing there. And they're gifts from life, and they have life in them. A tree can feel your presence, and you can feel the presence of a tree. But
Yes.
you don't see that. How many people walk through the city and they don't see the beautiful trees, or give attention to them, or pass by and touch a leaf? And we see the ordinary people walking in the street, but how many people take time to think, oh my, what a beautiful city this is. How can I send my love to everybody who is around today? How can I say a prayer for protection for all the people who are traveling? How can I say a prayer for the protection of the older people and the younger ones? So that's lifting your consciousness to see more and to understand more in your space. And when you walk through a bus, for example, you go in a train, to be careful about how you walk, how you talk, how you speak, because you're seeing so many beautiful people around you. So in every situation, we can become more conscious. Even if you have an issue or problem, and you begin to think, is there another point of view? Can I see it from another point of view? And if I cannot figure out another point of view, can I ask another person, my friend, if they have a viewpoint? So when we think in the box, we think that all the burdens are upon us. But if we open up the space, we'll see how we have so much help and support in our universe. So that's opening up the space to see more. And it's something that I love to do. And you were saying, for example, you come into a space, do you see more in this space? Could you see more opportunities in this space? Do you see more possibilities in this space? And in every space, there are more.
Yes. Master, where is the center of vitality in our body?
That's a nice question. And I do believe that vitality is important. Do you find that you're burned out? Do you find that you have low vitality? How can you improve your vitality?
Yes.
And in my practice, in my learning about holistic thinking, the navel area, the area where the umbilical cord was when we were a little child, and we were born and that cord had to cut. Now that cord, the umbilical cord, was a support when we were in the womb of the mother.
Yes.
When we came out, there's a cut. But I believe that that's still a support because it's like an energy channel that puts us in touch with another energy in the universe, what we may call chi in the Chinese system, or prana. And this area in the Oriental system, for example, the yogis call this area Manipura,
Yes.
which means the city of brightness, the city of jewels. The Japanese call it Hara, a center of power in martial arts. Chinese call it Dantian. It's a center of vitality that helps us to become more vital, more energized. So learning to become more conscious of the center, breathing, for example, every day, with the abdominal breathing, opening up the abdominal areas to breathe, you may be amazed at how you can improve your vitality just by giving attention to this center. That's how I stay vital. Having discovered the power of this center, like in the martial arts, like with the Chinese, like with the yogis, it's a very powerful center, but we have not been taught about how to improve our vitality by tapping into this center. So that's one way of course I can't do it in this program. There's not enough room to speak about vitality. Yes. But just to say that this navel area, it's a mysterious area, a mystical area of power. And that's a way like bringing quantum energy from another space. Because I believe that the consciousness space that we exist in is a space of infinite quantum energies. And just by creating an intention, just by giving attention to this space, we can actually tap into these energies.
Yes, I see. Sometimes we reject another person's point of view by saying, no, I don't believe it. Is it important to be open and flexible also to other people's points of view?
Yes. And it's not that you have to believe in what the person says, but just be open.
Yes.
And
maybe it's something important there also.
Absolutely. So if I'm listening to someone, I want to listen very closely because I want to pick up all the information of the person. And then I'm thinking, are there other points of view? Even when I believe what the person is saying, I'm always open to another point of view because there is another point of view. Because we cannot be seeing the all. So I believe that if we are more open-minded, we can find better solutions to things. And we can explore from a space of many more possibilities. In fact, if we were seeing through the eyes of others, our world would be a better world, wouldn't it be? If we saw through the eye of a poor person, if we saw through the eyes of an unhealthy person, if we saw through, we see through the eyes of a child, if we see through the eyes of our spouse, don't you think we'll have better relationships? But when we want to hold on to our own ideas and want to dominate with our ideas, not seeing the viewpoints of others, then it's like an abuse of our universe. So I think in any situation, being more aware and being more open to every point of view can help us to produce harmony in a space, can help us to have more of the unity consciousness in our space. And that's what our world needs today. More unity consciousness. If I'm speaking with you here and there is unity in our consciousness, then we have the best interview. Everything flows beautifully. But if I want to just tell you what I want to tell you, and I'm not listening to you, but I want to just say what I want to say, that's not good. I have to see through your eyes. I have to see that what you're trying to learn from me, and I have to meet with that in the best possible way. And that produces harmony with you and me, and so too with the world. By opening up our eyes to other points of view, we can help to co-create a better world, a world that we need.
Why do we lose concentration?
Concentration is a power that has to be developed. Look very carefully. If I were to ask you to focus on one thought for a minute or 3 minutes, you might find it difficult.
Yes.
You may. If I ask you to repeat this word for 3 minutes without thinking of anything else, I'm sure other thoughts are going to arise. But it's possible for a human being to repeat something continuously or stay focused without thinking about anything else. And that's a skill that we develop. It's a mental skill that we all can develop, the art of concentration. So it is because it is not a learned skill. It's not a skill that is taught in the schools, for example. You go to university, you don't learn it. You go to all the schools and colleges, you don't learn it. We have never been taught how
to concentrate.
Yeah. And concentration is a very powerful tool. And in some of the traditional cultures, they teach concentration as a life skill. So it's a learned skill.
Yes. How can we get rid of negative things? Because sometimes we feel like we have negative thoughts, negative energies inside our body, inside our mind, maybe inside our heart too, and it is very difficult to get rid of them. It seems impossible sometimes.
How do you get rid of darkness?
By light inside us.
then negative thoughts, if you fight with them, you can have a very terrible battle. If you were to go in a room and you fight with the darkness without looking for the light switch, why is this place dark? Who didn't put on the light? Where is the switch? And I'm fighting with the darkness. All I need to think, there must be a switch here. There must be a light switch here. Let me find it. All darkness goes. So when we are caught up in negative thoughts, the first thing is accepting that they are there.
Yes.
And not to be in conflict with the negative thoughts. They're there for some reason. Accept that they're there. Otherwise, we keep on fighting with the negative thoughts. So look at thoughts in your consciousness. They are creations in your consciousness. Thoughts are created in the consciousness. Look at them and begin to explore other possibilities. We don't think that we can, but we have the power of choice. So if I were to think, do I have to think this negative thought? Do I have to think this angry thought? Or is there another possibility? So let me look at this thought. I see an angry thought coming up in my mind. This is interesting. Let me look at this thought. Now the moment we do that, we are opening up a space of possibilities.
Yes.
And if I begin to think, do I want to identify with this thought? Do I want to act through with this thought? Is this thought going to be a good thought for me, for my well-being, for the other person? Or can I explore another possibilities? Can I be indifferent? Can I be detached? Don't take it personal, what the person is saying. I'm staying in my power. I'm not getting angry. I'm not becoming negative. And then I begin to think, can I use compassion? Can I think that the person who is making me angry, that they're ignorant, they don't know better? And can I be compassionate for their ignorance? Or can I be kind to them? Can I see it in a better way and demonstrate how they should be? And look at how I created possibilities in this space. And now these positive possibilities are like light. They open up my space and they make me feel better. So always, when negative thoughts are there, accept that they are there. Observe them carefully, see what they're doing to you and what they can do to your space. Begin to explore other ways of acting, and then you realize that you have choice.
Yes.
Sometimes we don't think that we have choice, but we do. In every situation we have choice. To act or not to act, or to act differently. But we have the power of choice.
Do we understand ourselves better by meditation?
But first of all, we need to understand what meditation is.
Yes.
Meditation is not sitting down and closing your eyes and trying to concentrate. Meditation is the art of observing your world from another space, from the space of all possibilities. So as I speak here, I am in meditation. I'm keeping a consciousness that listens to my voice, that listens to my thoughts, that is aware of what I'm saying, aware of the silence inside of me, aware of the peace inside of me, aware of the love for what I'm doing, and aware of all the possibilities inside. That is meditative awareness. So even if I sit quietly and begin to observe my thoughts, begin to choose my thoughts, whether it's prayer, whether it's repeating a sacred word, whether it's sending love to my body, whether it's praying for another person. Meditation is the art of centering in a space of peace and love and goodness and focusing on that which is important to you. So meditation can happen while sitting with closed eyes. It can happen while speaking. It can happen while eating, meditative eating. It can happen while walking. It can happen while jogging. It can happen while I'm doing my fitness. In all those times of being one with my activity, being into my activity, and giving it my full attention and exploring every possibility of relating and bringing out my energy in the best possible way, I'm in meditation. So the old way of thinking is to think that meditation is closing my eyes, or meditation is about praying. But no, in a new way of thinking, meditation is in my every moment. It is where I am centered in my being. It's how positive I am. It's how open I am. It's how I can tap into the space of all possibilities. It's how I can live at optimal well-being, at the best energies that I can have. That is meditation. So it is possible that we can be in this meditative state in every moment.
There is a principle of achieving what we want to achieve. So you said that the clearer the picture in our mind of what we want to construct, the faster the goal, our goal, could be achieved. Or it's exactly like this in our lives.
Yes. And if we create a vision of what we want to achieve, and we hold that vision strong in our mind, and we are connected to the universe mentally, emotionally by these energies, then these energies can connect with all the instruments that can help me to achieve what I want. But if I don't keep the vision very firm in my mind, my universe will not know how serious I am. So when I keep the vision firm in my mind, it's like telling my universe, reminding my universe, I need this, I want this. And if you're wise, you will want what the universe gives you. You will say, if it is your will, my universe, if it is your will, my divine universe, you give me what I deserve. I want this, but you give me what I deserve. So create a vision for yourself. Stay with it so your universe knows that you're serious. And then submit it to the divine will of the universe. Let it happen only if you think I need it and deserve it. Because I don't want anything negative to happen if I were to get this. Because sometimes we go after a vision, but it's not good for us, but we want it. The universe gives, because the universe loves to give us. And when we get it, we suffer. So if you're wise, you will say, my universe, I want this. But please give it to me only if it is good for me.
Yes.
And then you get what is best.
Yes, this is very important and a very interesting thing. To ask the universe to give us only what is good for us, not what we want. Because we have this habit to ask what we want and then to be punished by our own desires.
Absolutely.
Master, what can you tell us and what do you think about the future, about 2012?
That's a nice question. I, with my own perception, feel a difference in 2012. And I can feel that now there's a global shift in the consciousness taking place. There is more spiritual consciousness in the world, a greater consciousness of love and unity that is happening. And I do believe in what the Mayans spoke about, that in 2012 their calendar comes at an end. But it doesn't mean the end of the world. It means that we are given all the tools now as human beings. We have such a global consciousness now and such awakened energies in our world that now the time has come for us to create a new world. So a new calendar is beginning. The Mayans we have completed the last one. We have reached a state of evolution. Now we are into a new age. And the new age is about what we can co-create as human beings with awesome power. So that's what I feel in 2012. So, for example, you see this little book here. It's called Making the Shift. I spent 40 days in a retreat with people from all over the world and about making the shift in the consciousness. Because I believe this is a year of shift. And these are very powerful messages of shift. How can we make a shift in the consciousness? How can we align ourselves to the global shift that is taking place? And we need it. For the change in the climate, the change in the economic condition, the change in the environmental nature of our world, we need to make a shift because we human beings have such power. When we do things to abuse our world, we're destroying our world slowly. And because now we have this global consciousness, we have such power. So we can destroy our world in an instant, the kind of weaponry we have in the world, and the kind of violence that we can see in the world. We can destroy the life in the world very quickly. So it's really important that we human beings make a shift in the consciousness to become better people, to be a better world, to work more in harmony with each other, which is called unity consciousness. And I believe that's what the universe is trying to get us to do and to be, to unite in this consciousness. and to create a better world, to be protected to the environment, to life. Because we depend on the plant life, we depend on the animal life.
Yeah.
So we need to protect these species. And we have so much endangered species. But I believe the call of 2012 is for us globally to unite, nations to unite, for there to be more dialogue between people, that we can become one world, one family, one human family. That's the call of 2012. That's what the Mayans were trying to tell us. That's what Nostradamus is telling us.
Yes.
A clean page to write upon. And that's the call. So can we do it? Can we do it together? Can we do it in Romania? Can we do it in every country? The responsibility is in our hands. We can change our world. We can co-create a new world. Let's do it together. Let's do it today. Let's do it now.
Thank you, Master. In our world, we need leaders like you to bring us wisdom, unconditional love, kindness, and peace. And we thank you very, very much for all you have taught us today. Îi mulțumim maestrului Sri Vasudeva, iar pe dumneavoastră vă așteptăm cu drag și sâmbăta următoare. Până atunci, alege să nu te pierzi și privește lumea detașându-te de ea. O săptămână minunată. La revedere!